Pronto, 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 pronto. Hello, hello. Welcome, dear Father Ángel. Sì, ma non arriva la voce, non arriva qui la voce. C'è audio anche degli altri. Ma non sento. Ma che non sento l'audio, non sento niente. Okay, we start the translation. The formation was a priority for me, surely a priority. We had the good luck to be a congregation blessed by the Lord for many reasons. Surely the Lord loved all of us, the congregation and the youth, and we feel that. But it's a very diversified reality. We had this past year an average of 445 novices every year. So this is an extraordinary gift from the Lord. If we have this gift, our concern is what to do to help each one of these young people to discover indeed the beauty of this call. It is true that formation is something that really, not only me, but the General Council, we have it very much at heart. We have beautiful realities in our presences in all the continents. So we try to do our best to accompany movement and changes. 30, 40 years ago, all provinces had their own houses of formation, but the reality changed very much in this last decades. We have not just given up because the changes sometimes are difficult. So we try to see what to do, which decision to take, which opportunity to follow for guaranteeing a good formation. And sometimes we have also to take painful decisions, in some places of the world. To take decision, though one does with the best intention, sometimes is hard to do so and to follow accordingly. But I believe that altogether in the 5 continents, we have a network of formation houses, formators. Of course, nothing is perfect, but it's a beautiful reality altogether. For instance, novitiates, we made an effort to guarantee a good environment for novices, their own formators, well-prepared novice master. We have 32, 34 novitiate, because after COVID there are variation also in the number of the novitiate. But I can tell you that the reality of novitiates improved drastically. Now, in average, the young people that enter the novitiate are better prepared, better accompanied. One sign is that those living during the novitiate is now half of what was happening when I started the service of Rector Major, so something improved. Though we are not at all arrived at the end of the journey, there are still many things to do. One of the big goal is how to make formation to transform the heart of each person. That is the challenge. So we can start from this element. So the objective of formation is not just to convey some contents, as well the sense of belonging to a reality as big as the congregation. But the big goal is to be able to make the heart of the person oriented towards the will of God. Somehow this is the central point, how to touch the heart of a confrere, of a young person, because it is for everyone. This is very much also the focus of the post-chapter reflection. So what is the impression you have? 10 years are a meaningful time in which you accompany the congregation these 10 years. Which steps we have grown, all of us together, and which kind of advice can you offer so to be able to reach this main goal, to tune our heart with God and with His will? We can say that this is the central point of formation, not only for us, but also for all priests in the diocese. Male and female congregation, that's remained the main focus. Those who are called to live a special consecration or ministry, how to deepen this call. From the first desire to follow this way, to reach in the point in which we have a real, for us in our case, of good shepherd kind of Salesian. There is all a journey, a process, where the challenge is this. In all the old church, the challenge is how to remain who we are, our nature. Julian, Ángel, Margaret, whoever, to grow in our own identity, but at the same time our heart, our feeling, our belief to be more and more to be close to the heart of Jesus, Good Shepherd. That for us, as the feature, the physiognomy of Don Bosco, this, of the Salesian spirituality, the sense, the particular approach of Don Bosco, make yourself loved, all what we know. When we look at the church, we can see that in the formation of seminaries, in the formation houses of religious at large, also the congregation for the religious life, they have expressed it. The Holy Father as well mentioned and expressed he has the concern of so many vocations who are also living. So what is missing behind difficulties and challenges? The dream of God for me is inviting me to make a journey, to walk away. So there is a journey to do. There is a progress, and there is where problem may come. There is always a kind of formation, vocational journey, in which much of the human aspect also are involved. If it is not personalized, if one does not reach the level of what each person has to go through in discovering our motivation, our deeper drives and energy, if it is not personalized, even when it is very much communitarian, if you are not able to reach to the core of the person, if it is only linked to the feeling of today I am okay, tomorrow I am not, and so everything is over. So the challenge is this personal journey. Human maturity is so important. At times, religious and men and women, priests as well, we can be very weak at that level. We may have a ministry, we can do and perform, but if there is not that basic human maturity, everything will become a problem, a difficulty. It will be something that will disturb us so much. That is at every level: affective, sexual maturity. We need to be so much mature in a world that is so fast, so much attend in every direction. You can reach everywhere with a click. So we have to prepare people to live in this very world, which is different from the one when I was in my first year of formation. Then we move to the more spiritual, transcendent side, the motivation. If you are weak in the side of a true experience of faith, God has chosen me, loves me, that I am called to respond to Him in faithfulness. If this is weak, if there's no that union with God, we will not. What we can also mention, union with God, grace of unity. If this is not there, we can perform well as a social commitment. We can also be maybe a big showman in the oratory, but then after a while, the motivation is no more there, and everything becomes a flop within. So this is true for every vocation, actually. The same for married people. Either these spouses, men and women, every day are ready to recreate their own love and day by day to strengthen it in spite of all what bring tiredness and fatigue. But if there is no this deep root, today is okay, tomorrow I will live. So looking at these elements that you have just emphasized now, you too have gone through formation, so it's also personal experience. One or two advice for a formative community, or thinking also about the community which are much more involved directly in the missionary, let us say, open field. What would you say to them to help them to reach to this personalization itinerary? Even the charism of Don Bosco, how can it become a good help to personalize our formation journey? You mentioned the community, Giuliano. If I think about our own Salesian context, Salesian or Don Bosco, but I can also enlarge the gaze on the Salesian family, other groups. the community dimension is so relevant for us. Other charism, they have a way of living religious life diverse from our own, different, living in a different way their own community life. For us to say formation and to say community experience that accompanies you, that sustain you, that journeying along with you, it is really relevant for us. From the side of young confreres, I believe the same for our young sisters. One condition, one you are asking for a suggestion. One first suggestion is absolute transparency. To live a journey of formation, it gives the opportunity to share with whoever is the one in charge, spiritual guide, the person you feel more comfortable with. You share your journey with the one you trust most, including difficulties, but also the joys. Also, what you feel as lacking. I what I discovered during this year of Salesian life, from the time I was Rector Major and before provincial, and my way of being Salesian, what I discovered that if someone has some difficulties and they remain hidden, before or later they will surface. And when they will surface again, it will be much more difficult to accompany and to integrate. So one of the elements from the side of especially those who are initial formation, with the first element is this kind of honesty and transparency. Is the example Don Bosco give with the handkerchief, to be really fully open, available. To hide is not really a good choice, because what you don't integrate and resolve at a certain stage in life, it will surely come up later on in much more difficult shape. And then the all what concern the community dimension, which is also an affective space, when I feel welcome the way I am, and when I can love other in depth, though starting from a kind of cheerful and joyful way of staying together, but also with depth. I am concerned and afraid, if we put it in a negative way, to see when a community where you have only a room to rest and the refectory to eat, that will be a hostel, not a community. Community means that I need you and you need me. I will give you an example and then we move to another question. When I was a provincial, accompanying the province, I found some confrere that find it hard to be present with the other 6:30 in the morning for prayer. I used to talk with them, was trying to see you cannot make an effort. Sometimes the one information, I am tired, etc. I try to understand, but always say, I was telling, don't just take it as what is the effort I have to put to be present, to take it as a constant effort to make. Take it in another way. The community need my presence. My community need to see me there. Because my presence is a gift for my community. If one doesn't use the community, or look at the community as his own perspective, the community becomes only a kind of checkpoint, control, something for me, for my own journey and my own issue. Remaining on the field of community, thinking about what Pope Francis also underlined in our chapter, the relationship between mission and formation. Surely community is a place of synthesis, because mission and formation are both encountering themselves there. So, formation and mission. How do you see this encounter? This, how do you see for the future also? I will start with a little joke. It comes from our experience. In which province in the world we have not found young confreres like post-novices who have to face a lot of study because of philosophy, pedagogy, or whatever. And the temptation becomes to reduce the study because they have to run with the young people in groups and oratory, etc. And so the formators have to remind them that the priority at that time is study. This young confrere will be then in practical training. And sometimes the rector or the conference, they have to tell him, look, the children are in the field, you have to be there. But the conference will say, perhaps, oh, I need time for me, I need time to study, to make synthesis, to reflect. This is the, let's say, the joke, the more than the joke, just the example I want to take. But there is some kind of truthfulness within. This brings us back to the first question. Either formation embrace the whole of our life, the whole of our person, or you just made little things and they will not help to really build up the person, just pieces, small pieces here and there. If you want to, if you're aiming to grow as a person, as a good shepherd, we need to have this holistic approach. When we spoke about formation and mission during this chapter, we need to recognize with truthfulness yes, the formation being a overall process is not something that will happen automatically. Much time is for the study, much time for service. What is formation and mission? So it is that all what I do is preparing for that mission that already today and much more tomorrow is waiting for me. So it is all mission as well. The letter of Father Vecchi, I for you study, quoting Don Bosco, for you work, for you That letter of Don Bosco is a beautiful, the letter of Don Vecchio is a beautiful expression of what it means to form for the mission. It means that if I have to study philosophy or theology, my heart have to feel that tomorrow I will be with young people, university students, and therefore I cannot just go there with a ice-breaking little game technique. They expect from me something deeper. And this means to be an educator pastor who have done his own journey of deepening. So this is the road to follow. A journey of formation that prepare ourselves for all what we are expecting later. We have to take care of the person as a whole. What could be the problem of young converts going to practical trainee? It may happen also in our with our sister. Sometimes there is a kind of emptiness in the heart. So if we are not helping with dialogue, with closeness, we may find ourselves alone in the midst of young people to feel a kind of uneasiness without energy. So the best is when we may reach in the evening very tired our bed, but feeling that we have given a lot of life and we have received a lot of life as well from them. So how we live all that is the difference. It's not either one or the other, but it's how we live the whole of our life. So it's a journey that helps the person to mature. The whole life is supposed to be so. But where deep motivation of faith, a deep faith perspective, and a reading all our life in a faith perspective, this is what we cannot live out. If this is missing, before or later, whoever is the person, he will not have the energy anymore to live a consecrated life, male or female, or as a priest. So another question comes up looking at this, fundamental as well. Formation is for the life of the person, and therefore is not something that concern only the initial stages, but it is the whole life of a person engaged. The initial formation, it doesn't finish formation. I thought about what you said before. Something was coming back to my mind. Sometimes this is what we experience. We desire to do always something else compared with what we are doing at that moment. As if it will be very difficult to unify our life. So we had days in which it was always the same focus. You come in the evening that tired, uh, but you can, is what you had before. You can be so tired but so happy of what you have done the whole day. Some other time instead you feel great need to look at yourself because life may be a challenge. So how to reach to a point in which life is forming us is not just draining away everything. So how do you see that? The approach to life. So it's fascinating, it's beautiful to look at this possibility to reach to that kind of maturity. What comes to me was what the head of the Jesuit congregation used to say in the past. It's not a quoting, but what is his own perspective. When we will see that the reason why we enter it is rare to see that what make us to be full of enthusiasm at the beginning is no more what we will see after years. We can find consecrated people who reach the point in which they don't have anymore that inner energy, reason, motivation. Things have somehow disappear or fade away. But this is not something that a risk or something that may happen only to the consecrated people. We can think about young people like university student getting ready for a work, specialization, a place in the society. The question is how that the maturation of that person will be a good professional in some field, economy, then maybe also think about marriage. Which are his own inner tools, values that they will carry in their own, let us say, in their own bag, toolbox, in order to be able to live an experience of love in a couple, then family life, and the responsibility in the society, as a father, as a mother. So we reach the central point of this today in our societies. There is so much need, I'm convinced, to help new generation to mature deeply. Cell phone, artificial intelligence, all this that is so present today is something that is overtaking us in some way. How they will be the family in the future, our community in future. I believe that the new thing, new energy, the new things is what is unnegotiable, not negotiable. What is the essential? If we don't have that one, our life, even as a community, the life of our community, so much change. In the last 20 years, a deeper change than what was in the previous 60. So the reality is very different. So what is the backbone, the solid rock on which we can build? Before up to the 70, you study theology, and that for all life, that is your background where you can. Today, with the cell phone, after 3 years, if you don't do something, you become already an illiterate in using it. And why I'm saying this, to go back to the same point, and you have said it already, the central point for the present and the future, think about concrete life, living for the moment, marriage, family. I believe that the central point is this harmony of the person, or say it in another way, is this unity of life, which means that what I think and what I say and what I want, what I show out, all these, there is an inner unity, harmony, are not 3, 4 people Three-four identity applied according to the different place in which I am in, community outside or when I am on my own, but there's a kind of inner harmony, unity. And I believe that there is no other way. This deep faith experience, and so we need to see where we can keep on this maturation in faith for all our life. What is helping us to do so? I say it by personal experience in our journey of life, in my journey of life, in the service that I am doing as a provincial, or even as a rector major now. Something that you never expect, it may happen, then you have to take it up. And so I needed to do a journey of faith as a believer. Now I am with a new perspective, which I don't know exactly what it will be, but it's only in faith you can live all this. If there is not this intense faith experience, 99% of our conference, I believe, try to live this way. I have to be also to recognize that. But what happened? That what is happening, what is coming to our table often are the fragility of people. So maybe many are not experienced, but we have to face those who are more in difficulties in this line. So this union with God, harmony of life, sharing in community remain the basic that will keep us going. Our community have to be even more space of brotherhood. The the young people that come to us, they have somehow experienced everything already. So what are they looking for now? Some experience of God which are authentic, experience of fraternity that they will not find elsewhere. They're also ready to do something for the other, generous. So I am convinced that we have to better, much more in our community. No need to keep on saying that we have too much to do, too much to do. We can see also in family life. There are so many things to do, and children will live like if they don't have a father and mother because they're always busy in doing something else. So this is also a risk we may have. We live under the same roof, but there is no a true level of sharing. You feel at home. You can laugh together. You belong to a family. So this is not just one or 2 points, but is the togetherness of it. How to take care of all these elements in their own unity, which are all needed to make a true journey of formation, no matter if one has 25 years or 63. It is also the theme that you have, Ángel, you have taken as a focus for the congregation in view of the next chapter. So what are you expecting for this chapter 29? Which perspective of growth you believe that the Lord is showing to us as a journey forward? First, I have to share a kind of data. Some may feel that the rector major just took up something, one topic among the many. It's not just me, it's 72 provinces who have answered in the short time of a month, 72 over 92 in August we have to send this kind of appeal. It's the time in which half of the world is a kind of holiday time. So, though being something to be done in a hurry, it was meaningful to get 72 feedback. Sorry. We lived a previous chapter that was suddenly cut and short because of the COVID. So we could not develop all what we intended to do, which Salesian for the young of today. 2 years of COVID followed that paralyzed somehow everything in different way. And then finally this appointment of the Rector Major as a Cardinal. So this we have to shorten up the time, anticipate it of 1 year, the general chapter. And the Vicar of the Rector Major will accompany for 7-8 months the congregation heading to this chapter. So the situation in this 6th year was not so easy. At the same time, I can perceive a kind of serenity within the congregation, which is also a sign of maturity in the congregation. What is my expectations of this chapter that I would like to be part of, but I will not? Whereas, of course, I will be at the beginning for sharing good wishes, but I will be very close, surely, with the heart, even at the reflection that will be carried on and shared. But I believe it's not the first time. If you look back at the last 10 chapters, there are similar elements also here. It is a continuity with what was before. But in this moment, in this in this context, to present Jesus at the center, to see Jesus at the center of our life and the life of the congregation, in faithfulness to our charism, we do believe that it is the most beautiful reality, but is also the the problematic side at the same time. So we have a beautiful challenge, let's say. We have to take steps, even from the juridical point of view, so that we will support the spirit and the life of the provinces. So I believe it will be a chapter full of life. The fact that the Rector Major will not be there in this time, not because, thank God, either, I don't know, something happened to him or he moved straight to heaven already. Because, no, it's not because of that, but because what we know. But I believe that the chapter, whatever be the way in which it will be composed, will help the congregation to go towards this center. It's not just to settle 5 or 6 things, to put in order a few things and so on. I believe there is a desire and need to live with a gaze that goes to the essential, and this will fill us with hope. Remaining on this topic, I really cherish what you said. Perhaps exactly because of the extraordinary condition of this chapter that have prompted timing and a way in which it will be handled, it may be an occasion for the congregation to become even more a real teamwork. I mean, to to feel a deeper communion and more greater sense of belonging for all what is entrusted as a big responsibility in this chapter, election and choices and direction to take. Yes, Don Angel answered. First of all, I have to be sincere in affirming, I believe, that our congregation is cherishing a good health. I don't say that we don't have difficulties, we do. We mentioned before also some of the challenges for formation, but I believe that altogether the congregation is enjoying a good health. I can see this last 10 years already, as you said, a meaningful time. The congregation live with a sense of communion, and we are in a sound situation in the sense that there is really a desire of this communion. As you mentioned, the special or extraordinary conditions in which we celebrate the next chapter, I believe that it will be an opportunity. Like to say as a chapter, let us seriously engage ourselves. Also listening to people with great experience, like for Father Chavez, the Rector Major Emeritus. There are people who are able to accompany the chapter assembly for a quality work. Then all those who are coming in to even 50 conference is a great reality. So this will be a way to take seriously this particular historical moment. I don't think that it will be a chapter just for few little agreement or just touching up some words in the regulation. I believe that we have the desire to affirm that the congregation, which is really in a good health condition, may move forward courageously so that it can still be a positive alternative in the journey of evangelization, charismatic journey, a positive alternative to those other experiences they may found our young people that are very superficial, they are spoiling their life. So we can be still a gift. I visited 120 countries, all the provinces. I have to say, the life we can perceive is something tremendously engaging, beautiful, what one can see going around. It will be nice to be able to open the heart and to put a pen drive and to download all the richness of what I could live as a grace of God, visiting so many Salesian reality in the world. I am much more full of enthusiasm today than 10 years ago because of this. So I believe that Salesian who have a similar experience cannot simply be pessimistic. Sometimes that kind of sad outlook and lack of hope come because I am too much close in the same little corner. I cannot see behind. If you raise up the eyes, the reality is much more rich and also marvelous, and this gives hope. Problems will be set in the right perspective and not fill the whole space. So I believe that the congregation is ready to live a chapter with great sense of responsibility. no anxiety that is blocking up everything. Thank you, because you're already giving us this enthusiasm. And you will help us to face the formation, the chapter with this kind of spirit. We are almost at the end. Still one question on the formation, thinking about your role as a rector major. So a great experience of government, which is one of the responsibility that was entrusted to you. So formation and government is one of the issue, topic, key issue, because decision of those who have this responsibility, they will bring consequences, big one, on what will be the formative action. So your experience 10 years as a provincial, just a flash, something that you saw as particularly effective as service of government to make formation to improve, to grow, to move forward, and maybe also a challenge you may have found that will, through the government, make formation more fragile. Just a flash, say Don Ángel. Sorry. In these 10 years, I think that in positive, this was a positive experience. Formation together with youth ministry, formation was a priority. Us to see what is our situation, which services we structure, how can we accompany reality to transform some of them in need of that, aiming to a better formation of our conference. Region by region, we try to look at the formation. We took it seriously, though with some difficulties, sometimes with painful steps, but we took it with great commitment. The weakest point in all provinces, the resources are less than what we need. Not always is possible, or one can understand that we have to offer the best to accompany formation. Not always, due to the lack of personnel, people are ready to invest the best resources for formation. This is one of the limits. We try to animate all that, but sometimes the formative equipe have not been the best one could offer. Why? Because there are no people, the provincial. I cannot take this conference for that because I need elsewhere. So let another provincial do that, because maybe when it's in the provincial formation house, who will provide for formator? So then we have to continue to work on this. It's beautiful to see that we have 2,470 conference information. But one thing I want to add, Father Giuliano. This is also the biggest responsibility of all. (2,473) young conference in initial formation is a big gift and very big responsibility. As a worry, what accompanied me in the last 10 years. One word we have not mentioned too much today, which charismatic identity we are able to convey, transmit in our young conference. If this charismatic identity will disappear, we will talk about another gathering of people, but not the congregation of Don Bosco. It will not anymore be so. It is most beautiful point, but is also the one that brings challenges, especially for people like Rector Major, provincials. We have to invest energies. This is also why the theme of the chapter is for pastoral services, but is first of all the charismatic identity of the Salesian of Don Bosco and young Salesian particularly. This will be also the theme of the chapter. You are coming often back to this. I share this also in the service of provincial. This was one of the perspective. One of the hot issue or important one that I get speaking about formation we share. One of the danger also for those who start a vocational journey, those who take seriously a possibility of living a consecrated life, the risk of looking for consecrated life, or even the experience of faith, a kind of refuge, not so much the desire to donate oneself, but to look for something that make you to be more safe, to feel safe. So for me, it is a big danger because at the bottom you put your fears that you have to suit and not the gift you have to become. I agree absolutely. Consecrated life. It is a beautiful reality. If one enter into that dynamic of absolute self-giving, love for God and for Jesus, to become another Don Bosco, where we are. We are 14,000 Salesians. If we are like that, it is so much appealing, fascinating. We have to say it. We have to say it to the new generation, boys and girls. This is the essence of religious consecrated life. But when it is not like that, consecrated life it becomes rather a kind of safe haven in the sense of comfortable life where you survive without too much problem. But this is no more consecrated life. This is just a kind of refuge, as you said. So I said it so often to young people in formation, my dear, if you are not ready, ask the Lord to show you another way of life. We are not looking for big number, though we don't need to count ourselves how big as we are. What we need is to have conference with all our weakness, starting from me. Conference that they may affirm that I want to be Salesian to give the all of myself. In positive, I believe, and this is also because going around the world you can see a lot of situations, a lot of young conferences, including a lot of young conferences in all continents. I'm thinking about Africa, Asia, but even Europe, though are not so many. Some are coming with already a very rich experience of life. I would say the future of the congregation passes through is passing through a quality proposals, appealing, courageous, not lowering down the level that we get a better future. So I said several times to some provincials, like Ecuador, Peru, Venezuela, where there are really missionary posts in the midst of Yanomami, Bororo, Chavantes, Suar, Mapuche in Argentina as well. I take it as example. I say to these provincials, please let young people live and experience missionary experience, the experience with the poorest, with the one most far, where there is no internet. It's not only for the missionary that the Rector Major is sending. I am of this country. I don't want to go with my people. I think it is enough as example. The profile of the consecrated life is to be the best of ourselves, even with the sacrifice that this will demand. If this is missing, we will not have future. I say that the journey of the congregation is not to make it easy and just comfortable, the life of the Salesians. I am 63 now, with an experience of animation government. I keep on saying this. Only the challenges where we are asked to give our best, full self-giving, they will produce that Salesian able to say, for you I study, for you I work, even up to give up my life. Thank you. There are many young confreres that are full of enthusiasm with this. Some no, you have to say. And may God accompany them in their own discernment. This summer, some who are starting the novitiate asked to be in Damascus, to live an experience of mission. I believe it's a beautiful perspective, rich of future. We are towards the end. Perhaps some question, if somebody want to ask from home. Still a question about your future. Yeah, to say that you are leaving the congregation, I don't like at all, even to say it this way. But let us look. What are you taking in your toolbox as a cardinal? You say it. Juridically, I have to make my renunciation. I have to stop to be a Salesian juridically, resign from that. But I hope to really believe and pray that I will be Salesian up to my last breath in the heart. I feel strongly this belonging. I share with you a question that a journalist made after what happened. Do you have some model of cardinal to inspire yourself to? No, I don't have, I replied. Because I believe there is no model of cardinal. The only model is Jesus. I saw this model so well represented in Don Bosco that keep on to fascinate me and to attract me. Then each one offer what he is. What can I offer? I don't know exactly what will be my future, my service, but this does not worry me. But I am convinced that wherever I will be, some principle that guided my life, they will not change. One that I always consider very, very helpful is the respect for each person. I try to live it this way. I believe it will be, wherever I will be, also a good space to convey this respect for each person, no matter the particular service one will be called to do. Another principle, wherever I will be called to serve, I believe it will be possible create those space of communion, teamwork, honesty, loyalty for the service we are called to do. Probably it will be a small group. Yes, I believe it will be possible. As I lived it, for instance, with the General Council, though it will be very different. But I believe it is possible also to create that level of communion. Of course, with a faith perspective. And thirdly, when I will be with young people, wherever I will be, my Salesian art, it will not be able not to respond to that the way it will be possible to do. I don't know, jubilee moments in which I will be with young people. Among the tools I carry along with me, maybe this kind of uh, connection and with young people appeal that they represent for me. I hope that in that service at the Vatican, maybe a Salesian will be with me to show this richness of Salesian heart. The church is richest when this mosaic that the church represents is with all the beauty of all the tassels. So we hope to meet you, to give you opportunity in which you can stay with young people. And not to forget, but I have to remember that my service will be for the whole church, not just for the Salesian, but the art will be with you. Some question from home. Donde Nicolò, Giancarlo. So many years is with the magazine youth ministry. Two words about youth ministry. Where you find the most urgent or problematic issue for youth ministry, especially in Italy and Europe, and which way to follow? First of all, a bit of advert for Giancarlo, with my congratulations with all his equipe. Rossano Sala for the magazine, Note of Youth Ministry. A magazine of youth ministry to have such a wonderful itinerary already done for decades, that is something really beautiful that we are offering to the church. Secondly, youth ministry in the old church. it is really a strong arm for the church. Though there is not a congregation or dicastery just for the youth, but it's just because theologically you need to put it in a larger perspective. But we know that if the church is not able to to be close to the young people and to bring them closer to Jesus, if we are not able to do so, the future of the church will be without adult. If there is no young people, who will be the adult? Youth ministry, it is always a reality and a challenge. What can we think specifically? As Giancarlo suggested, here for Italy, youth ministry in Italy. I am not an expert, they are the expert. But I believe that even with kind of good sense or perspective, looking at all together, we have to repeat to ourselves every day. We need to have feet on ground to perceive how this ground, I mean the young people world, how it moves. So what is going on in their own life, and to try to comprehend this youth universe. We have to. This is our duty to be expert on young people. I believe that we are not actually. We do a lot of good things with them, but it's still missing this kind of competence. It means the capacity to read the reality, to observe, to interpret, to listen to journey along with. I know that we do much of this also, and that we are also recognized in the church for this kind of service. Is our charism after all. But let us be careful not to just take it for granted, because it's all an effort we have to do to be more and more able to do so. Secondly, for the presence in Europe, in Italy, to be present, repeated thrice. One day I expressed it. I put it into inverted comma. The sacrament Salesian of presence. Actually, sacrament are the seven we know, but as a way to put it, this was really let me say, the magic in Don Bosco. This was his own secret. So we cannot do youth ministry just from a distance, just digitally, which is not to say that is not so great, important, but we have to reach to the heart, presence that touch the heart, that listen. To be present, to be present, and with it to have proposals according to the young people universe of today. I'm convinced, I'm sure that Giancarlo reflected so much on this. The generation of today, more than before, they need witnesses. Words in a world that everything is just consumerism, words disappear fast. Just an example, in these 10 years, often I met young people who told me, I missed this point. Can I give you a hug? I will always say yes, but then I was thinking, what is passing in the heart of these young people? Why is asking me that? Why I want to speak, sit in a picture? Today, everything comes together. Words also may be meaningful, but is the testimony what is the altogether that change life and touch life is not only one approach. So we are at the end. Just the time to thank you very much for this interview, what you conveyed to us, and the enthusiasm, the strength we can see, of which we are all very much in need. This will help us to live our time, it is not always easy. And we ask you a blessing as a Salesian family. We may be able to live the gift of the charism of Don Bosco with this renewed enthusiasm and faith. One word. Thanks for this opportunity. I am sorry that my strength are not so at the best day, but somehow we managed. We have not taught of the Salesian family because there was more formation, but I want to end saying that in these 10 years, one of the reality where we grew up so much is in the journey of Salesian family, as I believe we are taking seriously youth ministry. I believe so. Then we do what we can. Sometimes in a dialogue like this dialogue, we are trying to go to the weakest point or aspect or groups to strengthen them. But there are beautiful reality as well to recognize and to acknowledge. I will ask you to pray for our Pope Francis. I will do it with great conviction. He's always asking me to ask you, please ask your people to pray for me. I was at the phone with him. Ask Mary help to take care of me. This was 1.5 months ago. So I invite our family to be like Don Bosco in this long life to the Pope that today is Francis, yesterday was Benedict, and then whoever the Holy Spirit will say. But let us pray for him and for our Salesian family. And also I will do pray for you. And I will miss you very much when the time will come. So let us ask the good Lord the blessing, but together first we pray one Hail Mary, because everything started with one Hail Mary with Bartolomeo Garelli. Each one in his own language, so no need to translate. I will lead. Blessed for the woman, blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now, the hour of our death. Amen. Mary, help of Christian, pray for us. May the Lord be with you, with your spirit. Amen. Have a nice day. We are all in the presence of God, and Mary help will take us in her hand and arm. Thank you. Thank you.